If you're not familiar, this is the Surface Book. It's a laptop that Microsoft makes with a detachable screen that turns into a little tablet. Now, there's a new version out. This is the Surface Book 2. It's a 13.5 inch, but new this year is this big guy, the Surface Book 2 15 inch. Let's take a closer look. So the Surface Book is Microsoft's line of high-end professional laptops. That means they have super fast processors, graphics that put smaller laptops to shame, and they just have a very nice design, which is basically the same from what you've seen from before. So when you close it, there is a little bit of a gap here, but that's because this fancy hinge is designed so that when you open it up, even though the top isn't a whole tablet, it stays balanced. The other thing that's new this year, you hit this button to eject the screen, you can pop it off. The little mechanism for attaching it is way stronger now. They have these new metal fangs that fit into the slot, so the whole thing is a little bit more rigid. And as long as I'm holding this, this is the 15-inch version of the tablet, and it is kind of shocking how light the design is. Way lighter than you would expect it to be, honestly. And it looks really, really good. It's a very high resolution, really good color, and of course, you know, it's a touchscreen. And even when you dock it, the 15-inch is still remarkably light. It's just over 4 pounds, so you know, for a laptop of this class, that's about appropriate. You might expect it to be way heavier with the amount of power in here, but they've done a pretty good job. Now, Microsoft put a lot of work into the keyboard, but the funny thing is that it kind of doesn't show because it's just really good without pointing out that it's really, really good. It's got good key travel, good clickiness. It's a solid keyboard. Some other really nice new design features here. This 13-inch version doesn't have any fans in the top of the laptop here in the screen. There might be some in the bottom if you're running the graphics card, but whatever. And here, you'll notice that the keyboard, if you look closely, doesn't have a little divot around it anymore. It's just a smooth, big line on it, so that looks way better. Oh, and if you go into, you know, tablet mode, each of the tablets in these things should last about 5 hours on their own. Microsoft is also claiming 17 hours of battery life on these things, but you should know that Microsoft measures battery life a little bit differently than other companies. They measure video watching time, so you might not get that much in actual real use, but either way, it is a remarkably long time for a laptop of this class to last. All right, I know you want to know about specs, you want to know about power, so let's get into it. Both of these laptops come with the 8th generation of Intel's Core i5 or i7 processors, and what that 8th generation means is that they're quad-core processors instead of dual-core like you might have seen before. On the 13-inch, you have an Nvidia GeForce 1050 graphics card, and over here on the 15-inch, it's a 1060. That means that it should be more than enough power to run virtual reality, run mixed reality, run all sorts of CAD and other sorts of high-end things, and also game at a pretty high frame rate if you want to. Okay, ports. Everybody loves ports. I love ports. You love ports. Whatever. We're talking about ports. Microsoft is keeping plain old standard traditional USB-A on the side next to a big old SD card slot, so they are not keeping any of that away from you. But praise be, they have added USB-C, which you can use for USB-C stuff, or, you know, a display. There's also, of course, the traditional Surface connector, which is the little magnetic wing that fits in the side. And I don't know, we gotta point it out, there's a 3.5 jack on the tablet side of it too. So if you are looking for a pro laptop that actually has the ports that you want and don't want to have to live that dongle life, Surface Book pulls that off. Now, the thing you should know is that getting a laptop with a good graphics processor and a detachable screen that you can put in on the other side, and the really, really powerful Intel processor and the touchscreen and the pen and all that, it doesn't come cheap. So the 13.5 starts at $14.99 and the 15-inch starts at $24.99. And they'll both be available starting November 16th. Boop. 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 Oh no, doesn't boop.